Elements of theater. Theater has existed since the dawn of man as a result of human tendency for storytelling. Since its inception, theater has come to take on many forms, utilizing speech, gesture, music, dance, and spectacle, combining the other performing arts as well as visual arts into a single artistic form. When we begin to examine theater as an art form, we discover that there are certain elements common to all theater. These elements are present whenever a theater event takes place. Without them, an event ceases to be theater and becomes a different art form and a different experience. Audience. Although not always obviously apparent, a necessary element for theater is the audience. Actually, the essence of theater is the interaction between a performer and its audience. A theatrical event is not complete and does not really occur unless there are people there to see and to hear it. For example, when we read a play in the form of a book or listen to recorded music, we have a similar experience to looking at a painting or reading a poem. It is a private event, not a public one, and the live performance is recreated and imagined rather than just experiencing it firsthand. All the performing arts, including theater, are like an electrical connection. The connection is not made until positive and negative wires touch and complete the circus. You can look at it like performers are half of the connection and audiences are the other half. Script. Another element essential to theater is the script or text that is performed. This is a story, an incident, or an event that has been put into dramatic form by a playwright or even by performers or by a director. In its written form, a dramatic story is called a text, and it most commonly takes the form of a script. The person who creates the text is usually the playwright. He or she transforms the raw material, such as an incident, a biographical event, or a myth, into a drama which features characters talking and interacting with one another. Making this transformation is not easy. It requires intense knowledge and lots of practice. Along with structure, a text must have a focus and a point of view. We should know who and what the play is about and what kind of mood is being portrayed. The person who creates the script has the power as well as the responsibility to direct our attention and slant the story so that we look at it as tragic or comic. Performers. Another extremely essential element for theater is the performers, who are the people on stage presenting characters in dramatic action. Acting is the heart of all theater. One person stands in front of other people and portrays a character by speaking and moving in certain ways to portray the image of that character. The character portrayed can be a historical figure, an imaginary figure, or even a self-representation. Still, everyone accepts the notion that it is the character, not the actor or actress, who is speaking. Director. Another key element of a theater production is the work of the director, who is the person who rehearses the performers and coordinates their actions to make sure they interpret the text appropriately, intelligently, and excitingly. Theater space. Another necessary element of theater is the space in which the performers and the audiences come together. It is essential to have a stage or some equivalent area where actors and actresses can perform. Also, there must be a place for audience members to sit or stand. There are several basic configurations of stage spaces and audience speaking. Whatever the configuration, however, a stage and a space for the audience must be part of it. Design elements. Similar to the physical stage is another element, the design aspects of a production. Design includes visual aspects such as costumes, lighting, and some form of scenic background, and a non-visual aspect, which is sound. A play can be performed on a bare stage with minimal lighting and with performers wearing everyday clothing. Even in these conditions, some attention must be paid to the visual elements. We must be able to see the performers, and the clothes worn on stage must take on special meaning even if they are ordinary. Costumes are especially significant. They have been a hallmark of theater. Scenery has sometimes become more prominent than the performers when it comes to theater. Sound is a modern element that has come into its own modern technology. Of course, there were always sound effects, and there was free